Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of The Fishing Teacher. Thanks a lot for making some time out of your day to watch the video. Definitely much appreciated. And today we're going to be talking about how to fish the Z-Hog. Now this is a creature bait, so we're going to give you guys tips and advice on how to fish it. So anyway, the Z-Hog is sort of like classified as a creature bait. And if you guys aren't really familiar with what a creature bait is, it's sort of like this. It's some type of a compact, soft plastic lure that usually has different type of appendages on it. Now there's a lot of different brands out there that make creature baits, but overall that's what it is. It's compact bait that has appendages on it. Now these, they sort of came out, I guess it was probably about 20 years ago is when you started seeing creature baits. Before the creature baits, you basically just had like tubes and plastic crawdads and worms. But the evolution of the creature bait opened up a completely new bait genre. And I'm going to say, guys, probably over the past 15, 20 years, definitely that a creature bait like the Z-Hog has probably accounted for more high finishes and pitching and flipping wins than about any soft plastic lure out there. So I want to give you guys some tips and advice on when to fish it, how to set it up a little bit, and colors with it. First of all, when you're talking about a creature bait, for the most part, you're talking about fishing it in and around some type of cover. You're flipping and pitching this bait most of the time. Now, some guys, I've seen some guys fish it on a Carolina rig. Some guys use it behind a jig trailer, which you can put it behind a jig. But for the most part, you're going to Texas rig one of these on anywhere between a 1/4 ounce and a 1 ounce slip sinker, rigging it with a straight shank hook and pitching it and flipping it around whatever cover you have. It could be boat docks, it could be lay down trees, around stumps and grass beds. Personally, my favorite is to flip and pitch at any type of flooded cover, like flooded bushes, flooded trees, and that type of stuff. Now, the weight selection is another critical thing about it, because the weights that you put on here, the size of weight is dependent upon, the efficiency of the type of cover you're fishing. Say, for example, if you're fishing a creature bait in thick grass beds, you may have to go up to like a 3/4 ounce or a 1 ounce sinker. But if you're pitching it and flipping it around like dock pilings that are in shallow water, you might go to like a 3/16 ounce sinker. So what I like to do is I like to try to fish the lightest sinker size that I can that will still allow me to efficiently cover the water that I'm fishing. Now the efficiency has to do not only with being able to penetrate the cover effectively, but it also has to do with wind. Sometimes you may have to use a heavier or lighter sinker based upon, your wind or how it's, blowing or not blowing. Another thing with that is water temperature and water clarity. Water temperature and water clarity will also dictate the fall rate that you want on a creature bait. For the most part, if I'm fishing dirty water, and this is just a general foundation for you guys, the dirtier the water is, usually the lighter the sinker I go to, because I want that bait to fall slower to give those fish a chance to really see it sometimes. And the clearer the water, usually the heavier sinker that I want to see, because I don't want the bait falling down fast like that. A lot of times it'll get their attention from a long way away visually, and they'll come over to inspect it and hit it. And also, if you're fishing a creature bait, they hit it on the bottom most of the time. So you're not really concerned so much like in clear water about how slow it falls. You want it to get down there fast so it's on the bottom, because it is a crawdad imitating lure. Now colors, I keep it pretty basic. I got 2 different colors usually. I use some type of a green pumpkin or a watermelon if the water visibility is over 3 feet, and if the water is under 3 feet, I'll go to like a June bug or a black and blue or black like this. Or some days, if it's cloudy and rainy, low light conditions early in the morning, you'll find out maybe the blacks work a little bit better with that. Most of the time I'm pitching it and flipping it like on, 15 to 25 pound test line, depending upon the cover. But what has happened with the soft bait technology like this is a lot of guys, it's replaced their jig fishing. It used to be where pitching and flipping was mainly done, with some type of a jig setup like this. But a lot of guys have went to soft plastic because you do get more bites. A creature bait like this will get you more bites in general than a jig, but a jig will produce bigger fish on the average. So it's sort of like you got to decide if you want, the numbers of fish or the size of fish. But anyway, guys, there's a lot of them out there. This is the Zoom Z-Hog. This is my favorite. The Sweet Beaver, you guys have probably heard of that, is a real famous one. Lots of them out there. But if you're going to be a bass fisherman, This is one of the lure categories you really have to learn. The creature baits are going to be highly productive for you all over the country, pretty much 12 months out of the year. The only time that I really don't use them is if the water temperature is like cold, like if it's in the 40s. But anytime the water temperature is above 50 degrees, I use a creature bait quite a bit combined up with a jig. So a lot of times I may have a jig and a creature bait on the deck at the same time and rotate back and forth. So give them a try, guys. I think they'll catch you some good ones. We'll see y'all later.